RoadflyTV.com, the internet's best resource for buyers, sellers, and owners like you.
Hi, I'm Emme and welcome to this week's episode of RoadflyTV, where we're shooting in October and I've gone pink for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. In fact, last weekend I was out racing my Class 5 Unlimited Volkswagen Baja Bug to raise money for breast cancer research, so I was really happy to come back home and find this waiting for me. The 2012 Volkswagen Beetle. It's been updated with a lot of turbo and a lot of testosterone for your driving pleasure. The previous new Beetle was zinged as being a chick car. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but VW wanted to man up a bit in this third generation, and I think they've done a great job. The car's about 6 inches longer, 3.5 inches wider, and a ½ inch closer to the ground. It's also lost that cutesy bubble look and has a design much more reminiscent of the original Beetle from the 1930s. The hood and the roof are flatter and the windshield is more upright. There's a nod to the old school running boards, and they've even added these awesome eyelids. Now these cool little eyelids have been an aftermarket part for air-cooled Volkswagens for years. I used to have some on my '72 Volkswagen Thing. And call me crazy, but these deeply recessed headlamps and the newly redesigned taillights have a decidedly Porsche Boxster feel to them. The base model of the 2012 Beetle has got a 2.5-liter inline-5 engine, but our top-of-the-line turbo model has got a 2.0 turbocharged inline-4 that's going to give you 200 horsepower and 207 pound-feet of torque. That's enough to kick you from 0 to 60 in about 6.3 seconds, which is almost a full second faster than the older model. Plus, it still gives you pretty good gas mileage, 21 in the city and about 30 out on the highway. The rear hatch opens here via the emblem, and back here you've got about 15 cubic feet of space, and that doubles when you fold the rear seats down. So I'm happy to report that I can give it a trademark laundry basket rating of 4. Hang on. 4. But in fact, I probably would have had to move everything forward anyway. Because of the angle of this slope back here, you're going to want to make sure that most of your cargo is pushed a little bit forward. Interior of the 2012 Beetle has improved as well. Gone is that girly flower vase, and instead you've got a really sleek interior full of carbon fiber looking materials and a lot of chrome. The dash still has a slight curve to it, but it does incorporate some more masculine angles, because we all know that manly equals sharp angles, right? Volkswagen has kept the retro touches on the interior as well. Your rear passengers will get the familiar rubber loop as a chicken holder, and probably the coolest retro touch is the K for fetch. Thank you, Andrew. It means Beetle bin, and it's a secondary glove box that opens in a really cool way. However, I will say that ergonomically, I'm not sure that this is the car for me. It's kind of difficult for me to reach back and to get my seatbelt, and this shiny plastic windowsill is kind of, well, it's hard. And I always drive with my elbow out the window, and that hurts. And I can knock out a lot of boy push-ups, and since this is a 2-door, these doors are kind of wide, and I suspect they've been reinforced, but they just seem unnaturally heavy. While a 5- or 6-speed manual transmission is available across all trim lines, Volkswagen sent us the 6-speed automatic DSG with the sport mode. Now, I would have rather have had the manual, not just because they're better, but because I wanted to see if it would make a difference with the turbo lag. Now, don't get me wrong. When you're just cruising like this and you need to go a little bit faster, you just step on the gas, it responds pretty well, right? However, off the line, not so much. And don't try any of your fancy brake torque launches either, because the DSG is gonna shut you down. In fact, when you're operating the car manually with these minuscule little paddle shifters here, if you get it up in the red line, it's gonna shift for you. Now, I know I don't want to hang out in the red zone for a long period of time, but there might be a moment or two, or a second or two, where I want to keep those RPMs up, and the DSG just will not let you do it. Our top-of-the-line model does come with a sunroof, but I can't give it the traditional holler. It doesn't open up very far, so I'm just going to have to say, how you doing? Our model also comes with a premium Fender sound system and a navigation system, and they work really well independently, but they just don't want to seem to work well together. When you're in the navigation system, which is easy to use and it's got some pretty cool graphics, in order to get to your presets, you have to switch screens. But fortunately, Volkswagen has placed an abbreviated directions here on your instrument cluster, so it's not all bad. There's also this really cool interior light trick that I think is kind of awesome. I know it's just a few flashing lights, but it's rad. The ride on the 2012 Beetle is actually quite good. They seem to have hit that sweet spot between making it comfortable in the city while still providing fun times in the corners. Our turbo model has got a little bit more in the springs, a little bit more in the dampening system, so that provides an even sharper turning response. And it's got this cross differential system, which will apply the brakes to prevent wheel spin, essentially mimicking a limited slip differential. So that's going to give you a more neutral handling experience, and it's going to give you even more fun in the windy bits. Word on the street is that next year, Volkswagen will offer a diesel version of this car, 6-speed manual transmission, getting about 40 miles to the gallon. Now, I read that on the internet, so you know it's true. But for now, you'll get a bargain across all trim levels. The base model comes in at under $20,000, and our top of the line here with turbo, navigation, a premium sound system, and a sunroof will set you back at just under $30,000. That's it for this week. I'm Emme Hall. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate every single one of you. You can join our community by subscribing to our YouTube channel and leaving me your comments, because you know how much I love to read them. You can like me on Facebook, and you can view the window sticker for the 2012 Volkswagen Beetle on RoadflyTV.com. Thanks so much for watching. Look, you get an umbrella and your battery comes gift wrapped. It's hilarious. The 2012 Volkswagen Beetle.
That's it.
What else am I gonna say?
I don't know.
Sorry. Should I go or wait for the helicopter?